Hi everyone, Miss O'Connor Vince here. Today I'm going to walk you through the sampling project and just kind of some of the tools and tricks that I use while going through this idea of sampling. Now, one might ask, what is sampling? So sampling is the idea of taking pre-existing audio and making something new with it. So we see this a lot in hip hop and even in pop music now. With that, there are kind of endless possibilities that you can do with sampling based off of your own kind of creative ideas. So you want to think about it again, you're taking something that already exists, audio, whether it's a piece of a song or a speech, and we're making something new with it. One thing that I like to equate it to is like if you've ever done a collage in like art class. You cut out different pieces of like magazines and whatnot, and then you make a new photo. So this is something kind of along those lines, but with sound instead of pictures. So sampling is a musical composition technique that is used today, which I kind of already went over a little bit. This is a really cool way to kind of incorporate or kind of like make music with some of your favorite artists. So we'll jump into that shortly. The rubric is posted here for you. I will also link that in the description below. And then two websites, or one video and one website that I'm going to show you that kind of walks you through the process here a little bit. The second post here is actually directing you to Music First, which I'll show you in a second. But it says full instructions on Music First. This is just kind of like the highlighted text pulled from Music First that they post on Google Classroom. So again, we will take a look at this. So you click on this link here, and it's going to bring you to the hip hop lesson number 2, the sampling project. Remember, we did the DNA project. That was project number 1. Again, so the first thing that we're going to look at is Mark Ronson, who is kind of a successful producer. He's worked with Lady Gaga. He's worked with Amy Winehouse. He wrote Uptown Funk with Bruno Mars. He does this phenomenal TED Talk on kind of the history of sampling. So if I click on that link, it brings me to the TED website here. So you can feel free to watch this if you're interested kind of in a little bit more of the background. Part 2, whosampled.com. So again, there are screenshots here, just like our directions for Soundation or Soundtrap. If I click the link here, it brings me to this website. I'm just going to do a quick example with you just so you kind of get the idea of it. So let's type in Beyonce, because who doesn't love Queen Bee, right? There's a couple different ways to navigate this website. So you can check an artist's name, and then they'll have the list of songs, or you can directly type a song title in there as well. So the first one that comes up is Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z. Here is Beyonce in all of her glory. So it says contains samples of one song and then was sampled in 28 songs. So I'm actually more interested in what Beyonce used in her work rather than what other people have used from Beyonce. So I'm going to click on this link here, and it gives me kind of this cool side-by-side comparison. With that, we have the sample appears at 9 seconds from the Chi-Lites. This song called Are You My Woman, Tell Me So. It's also gives you a year, which kind of gives us a little bit of a hint as to which genre it actually falls under as well. And then, of course, Dangerously in Love, sample appears at 00 and throughout. If we had something that was further in the song, we could jump further. So it would say, 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever, and you could click the jump button and it would get you directly to that, which is super helpful. Okay, So let's check out the Chi-Lites' Are You My Woman?
Seems to be a misunderstanding about who you belong to. I'm tired of he say, she say, who shot John?
Okay, so let's just click the jump button just so you can kind of hear directly where the sample is. So it's that horn line, right? So now if we click 0, 0 in throughout, and again, if you wanted to click the jump button just to be specific, you could do that. I'm just going to push play.
Yes, so crazy right now. Most incredibly, it's your girl, me.
Okay, so the idea, right, is that what did Beyonce and Jay-Z do to this existing audio clip here to create something new? What they did is they took the horn line and they slowed it down a little bit. I always ask students, Jay-Z is kind of more of a laid-back rapper, right? He's not rapping like Eminem, like Rap God, like really fast. So, they slowed it down, they looped it, they added a few hip-hop kind of essential instruments, kind of like a deeper bass line and some drum kits and whatnot to make it sound more hip-hop or R&B. So I invite you to kind of play around with this website. Again, you can look up any track or artist. If you search someone who doesn't sample a lot, say, for example, Taylor Swift, she writes a lot of her own music, right? So she doesn't actually sample a lot. You're not going to find too much under those particular artists, and that's okay. That just means that they don't sample too much. I would definitely go the hip hop or R&B or pop route for this website. Okay, so after you've explored whosampled.com, and again, you can see this in Music First, the exact same progression that I just took you through with Beyonce. So again, if you're having trouble kind of navigating that, there are some more directions on Music First for you. So here's where we actually get to create something. Part 3, create the project. Now we don't use Soundation, so we're actually going to scroll down here and we use Soundtrap, right? So you can do two things. You can open in Soundtrap directly here, which will then be shared with me through like a grading platform through Music First, or you can just open a new Soundtrap project and make me a collaborator. Either one is fine as long as I get it. That's what I'm concerned about. So these kind of show you screenshots of what I'm about to kind of go over with you in Soundtrap. But the cool thing about Soundtrap is that they have this import file button directly in Soundtrap. So it gives you the ability to, kind of take pre-existing audio already and easily put it into the DAW. So again, I'll show you this in Soundtrap in a second. So clicking this button here, import file, there's your file. And then we have to actually kind of pare it down. The difference kind of between a sample or sampling a song and a mashup, right, is that sampling doesn't necessarily mean that it's distinguishable, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you can tell what song it is from listening to it. A mashup is usually something that has a longer amount of music from a particular song, usually with another song. And they kind of, the producer or arranger, or whatever you want to call it, kind of creates a way to have these two songs correlate together. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to create something new. We're trying to create a new song that may or may not be recognizable with your sample. So with that, we're actually going to use only 5 seconds or less of a sample. And I do this so you don't get confused in terms of, a mashup or whatnot. So here is our 5-second clip. We can loop this clip if we desire. We don't have to. If you only want to use it once throughout the song, you can. If you want to use it several times, you can. And remember, it doesn't have to be a song. It could be a speech. It could be a TV show, a video game sound effect. It can be a lot of different things. So here you see me using the audio along with the different track that I've created to kind of showcase my sample. So we're going to hop over to Soundtrap just so you can see this. Again, this is the sampling project.